everybody, Steve Ritter again. Welcome to another episode of Cruising with the Colonel. So I'm going over to pick up my laundry now, so I thought we'd take the eastern way out of Abu Dhabi over Saadiyat Island over to Yas Island, which is over close to where I took my laundry. This is the turn when I went to the mall yesterday. Instead of turning right, I'm going to turn left. Those high rises you see in the background there, that's Al Reem Island. Nice mall over there. And if I can make this light here. So you can see the light there, see how it flashes green. See that coming up here? It's kind of different. Instead of just going right to green to yellow, it flashes green first. Yellow's a little quicker, and then gives you plenty of warning to stop. And you should, because there's cameras usually. It's a nice little shot. That's a Cleveland Clinic there, a nice new hospital they opened up. Pretty nice place. Medical care here is really good. Lots of hospitals and clinics and everything else. I got, when I was here 5 years ago, I got sick, got the flu, and went over to, that was the only time I had to go in, and went into a clinic. Wasn't even a full hospital, and got seen like right away. They called me in, and it was the doctor, and the doctor saw me right away. And of course they took an x-ray of me on my chest to make sure I didn't have pneumonia, because it felt like I did. And at the clinic, they had the x-ray there and everything. It was pretty cool. So good medical care here. This is kind of a medical tourist spot, the UAE. So, but you guys seem to enjoy the last video I did, so I thought I'd do another one up here and just kind of show you a different view of the back way around Abu Dhabi. It's pretty nice out there. Show you a few things. A couple of interesting points as we go along. I showed you some of the license plate, some of the cars, and there's some pretty nice cars here. It's pretty interesting. The license plate, as a general rule, the lower your license plate number is, the more well-to-do folks are. And it's pretty interesting, because they'll every now and then in the newspaper you'll see people auctioning off license plates. Now, a lot of times it's businesses wanting their phone numbers and things like that for license plate, but I've seen some advertisements for license plates like in the tens of thousands of dollars. It's pretty crazy. So there's a policeman. Somebody was asking about that. Also, it seemed like there weren't very many police cars around, a police presence, and that's true. They let the cameras do the work for them, and they do very well at it. I've gotten a few tickets for being a little bit over the speed limit. They don't play around with it here in Abu Dhabi. The rumor is that in Dubai, which is north of here, in the Emirate of Dubai, they usually give you a 5 mile an hour grace zone. That is not true here in Abu Dhabi. They get you a couple miles over, they'll get you, and it's usually like a 60 dirham fine at least. That's the lowest, which is like $20. So they don't play around with that. This is that's I'll try to get around this bus here. Beautiful day, sunny as it always is here in the summertime. Occasionally, there's some high clouds, high cirrus clouds, but you don't see the big rolling cumulonimbus thunder bumpers like we get in South Carolina in the summertime. You just don't get that here. It's too hot. So I think I've been here since November, and it's rained. It hasn't rained enough to wet the ground here yet. And there was a couple of sprinkles. Kind of go out and stand in it a little bit, and then it's over. Just enough to like get the dust to stick to your car. So hopefully you guys can hear. I'm gonna turn the air conditioner down a little bit. So here's some of these delivery guys taking food to people. Bravest guys in Abu Dhabi there, driving around in a motorcycle in this traffic. So you can see like the red, this white car on the left there, you see that's a Dubai license plate. And the red, the license plate in front there with the red there, that's Abu Dhabi. So it's like states. It's like different states here, the United Arab Emirates. So each Emirates kind of, they have a sovereign, like an emir, a sheikh of the emirate, each emirate. So it'd kind of be like the governor, except they're a royalty. So speaking of license plates, if you ever see one that's like 2 digits or 1 digit, I've seen one that was a 1 digit. That was that SUV Bentley I saw had license plate number 5. So it's a pretty good guess that's one of the royal family. That was my guess anyway. Flashed my jaunty salute as I went by. No, I didn't, because you just don't play around with that. Never can tell. So I try to be a little careful here with the filming. I also read a story back 5 years ago. It's an Australian woman who took a picture of a guy, the way he parked, kind of shaming him, you know, because parking's some folks are a little better at it than others. And there's Al Reem Island over there. See, that really built up 5 years since I've been here. And she posted it on Facebook, kind of shaming the guy, and they found out who it was and sent her home. They kicked her out of the country. So they don't play around with it. You know, in a lot of ways, I like that. I mean, you see a lot of that stuff, and people making videos and people in Walmart and stuff like that. And yeah, we all have kind of a chuckle, but you know, it is kind of that's not a very nice thing to do to people, you know, shaming them like that publicly. So that's my microphone tapping on the rear view mirror there. If I move it over a little bit. So a lot of road construction. There's always road construction going on. And going over a bridge here. This is one of the waterways around. Like I said, there's lots of waterways all around Abu Dhabi. Here's another one. Going over this bridge here. This is a toll right here. So they put these up recently. This is as you go by, camera flashes, it takes a picture of your license plate. Every car has to be registered, and they'll charge you automatically for the toll. So it's kind of like the quick pass, except I'm going to lower this a little bit here. So there we go. Hopefully it'll quit knocking. Maybe not. There we go. So there's a view of, I don't know if you can see it, some of the waterway over there. Probably not. Anyway, this is Saadiyat Island we're coming over to now. That's New York University right there. Campus. They've got a nice, and they've got Saadiyat Island's pretty nice. They got a nice, they got the Louvre. That's it right there, that little dome thing, if you can't see it there. But that's a Louvre branch of the Louvre in Paris. They've opened up a museum here in Abu Dhabi. So Saadiyat's pretty nice. You can see planted. These are all, of course, these aren't native. They planted all these trees here and the grass and everything else. You could put some sweetgrass here, maybe. South Carolina. Huh. All the bushes and everything. That's nice over here. Had a couple of guys I worked with a few years ago lived over here on Saadiyat. A nice little apartment. A lot of you noticed that the signs are in English. every sign has English and Arabic on it, which makes it real nice driving over here. Like I said, beautiful sunsets here. I love the evening sun here. So it looks like yeah, they're building up over here. Some nice hotels. Got a Ritz-Carlton over here that's pretty nice. Might try to stay there sometime. Pretty nice. Lots of construction. Always construction going on here. Always building. Speed up to the speed limit here. 120 kilometers an hour. Set with cruise control. I don't want to speed because, again, they got the cameras here. And all these are date palm trees that you see, the palm trees, which is pretty nice. They're all the dates. They looks like some of them have the bags on them. I did a video on that. They'll put the bags around the dates to keep the birds from getting to them. And then they'll come around. Of course, then they give it a good shake, and the dates fall off, and they catch them in those bags, and they just take the bags down. It's pretty smart. But so we're moving around to the northeast now, and this road kind of loops around over to the other side of over to Yas Island. Lots of resorts. That's over to the left there, as you can kind of start to see coming up. Those are those apartments that buddies of mine lived in. Those are pretty nice little apartments. So I'm tossed it around a lot about living in an apartment. Arlene and I, while I'm here waiting for her to come over, I'm just hotel hopping, and that's the plan. Also, Arlene, she said she's tired of cleaning, cooking, all that. After raising kids for 28 years, she's ready for a break, ready to be pampered a little bit, and that's my job. That's what I'm gonna do, is pamper her a little bit. So we're probably gonna hotel hop around, and so crossed over another waterway. Now, I don't know what the name of this little island here is. There's another little island. Now, you see those trees over there to the right, behind that bus there? Those are mangrove trees. Those are native, and they've got quite an extensive mangrove forest here. And that's where those grow in, can thrive in saltwater environments. So, of course, the ocean comes up, the Arabian Gulf, which is pretty interesting. They don't call it the Persian Gulf here. They call it the Arabian Gulf for obvious reasons, because they're Arabic here. The Iranians are Persian, so they've got they're not, there's a lot of tension between Iran and Arab countries around, with all the posturing and everything else, but I'm not going to wax political, but that's the truth. It's a little, of course, Iran's, 100 miles over that way, across the Straits of Hormuz. I guess right when, so the British, this used to be a protectorate of the British Empire back in the day, dating back to the 1700s, or actually early 1800s, and they had a presence here. So the Emirates here really took to that, and for the longest time there was a British presence here, and they looked after, as a protectorate. Well, after World War II, of course, the British Empire stretched pretty thin. Started, they couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford to watch over all their protectorates, so they notified the Emirates back in the late 60s, hey, as of 1971, we're out of here. We can't protect you guys anymore. So the Emirates started scrambling around, talking to each other, and they banded, and they were separate countries at the time. And each emirate was it's kind of like the United States were back before the revolution. And they started talking and with each other and saying, "Hey, look, we need to band together." And a lot of talks, and that's I talked last video about Sheikh Zayed. They call him the father of the country. He was the Sheikh of Abu Dhabi, which is the richest and most powerful of the Emirates. And he's the one that kind of was the visionary that really spearheaded the talks. And I read a little bit about him. He was, like I said, visionary and very... hear that beeping. So all the cars in the Emirates, when you go faster than 120 kilometers an hour, they beep like that and say, "Hey, you're exceeding the speed limit." But the speed limit here is 140 on the backside here, so I'm going to accelerate here. Get around this guy. That's one of those trucks I was talking about that kind of always seem to get in the way. So he was talking with all the Emirates and saying, "Hey, you know, he gave up a lot. Well, not gave up a lot, but he made a lot of concessions. And he could have played hardball and demanded a lot and everything, but he was magnanimous with oil profit sharing and things like that. And he was the one that really brought all the Emirates together to the table. And it's interesting enough that Bahrain and Qatar are also two Emirates, and they were in the talks as well, and they ended up backing out, and they said, "No, we're going to make a go of it of our own." So that's why they're independent countries. But all the rest of the Emirates, all seven, well, there were 9 originally, and the Bahrain and Qatar backed out, and the 7 banded together. Well, back around to my Iran story, the day before they unified, Iran came in and took one of the islands out there that the Emirates had claimed and had and basically took it. So, and then they banded together. It was like the very next day. And so that's why there's a little tension still. So you can see the mangrove forest off to the right there. Pretty extensive. All along the waterways, a lot of mangrove trees. Over to the left over here, over on that side, you can't really see with the thing, but there's a big beach over that way, and people go out there kite surfing a lot. It's the big surf, well, like a snowboard setup with a big kite, kite surf, which is kind of cool seeing that go by. But it's a little too hot for that now, so you don't see too many people out. Well, you don't see anybody out there right now. So here's another one of these toll gates here. And off there in the distance, you start to see Yas Island. So Yas Island is, it's like the resort island. So you've got Ferrari World, you've got Warner Brothers Studios. There's like theme parks. They got a big water park out there. And it's funny because you'd think, well, isn't it hot there? Well, yeah, it's hot, but those are indoor theme parks, which is kind of cool. So I'm gonna start moving over because my exit's coming up. Some housing development there on Yas Island. A little bit rich for my blood. People live out there. There's not sure what they're going to build here. Looks like a bridge or something. And I just missed my turn. Talking to you guys, I'm getting all caught up in the stories. Missed my turn. That's all right. We'll keep going. I got another turn off I can do here. So you can see, I don't know if you can see there, if you look close, there's a, well, we'll go right by it, so we'll see. Some gas stations The interesting thing about the gas stations, that you folks from New Jersey and Oregon probably like, yeah, that's no big deal, but they pump the gas for you here. There's no self-service pumping. But one thing that they do here that they don't do in the States is everybody leaves their car running while they're pumping the gas, which would break all kind of safety regulations in the United States and other places, I'm sure. But it's just so hot, so people just leave their car running. I have to admit, I do too. So, coming up on my turn. That's that brown building right there. That's with the superheroes on the side. That's the Warner Brothers Park. I'm gonna turn off here, and this is Yas Mall turn in. I did a video on that as well. Hope you guys are enjoying these. Taking you along on my ride here. Kind of add. We'll turn off here on Yas Mall. I think I'm gonna end up. So it's a nice turn off right into the mall. So this is the second biggest mall in the UAE, next to Dubai Mall. I did a video on that as well. But that's the turn off. It's going to take me into the parking garage, and then I'm going to have to exit. So if I can find my way out of here. Hopefully I don't get stuck in here. Let's see. Let's go down this way. That's the water park right there. We'll go right by it. I think this will get me out. I hope. Yeah, it looks like it will. Yeah. So this will be a nice little drive. So I've stayed over here. Of course, when I was here 5 years ago, I lived at the Stay Bridge, which are like long-term stay hotels, and I'd stayed there for a year, and I came back and stayed there for another, shoot, I was there like 4 months, or well, a couple of months anyway, 3 months, something like that. And looks like I can't turn left. I'm gonna have to go out here and do a U-turn. So it's a little like Jersey here too, with the jug handles. You can't turn left. That takes a little bit of getting used to. So here again, you see if you look close, you see some of those palm trees and see the dates hanging from them. So it looks like it's almost date season, and you'll see people going around picking them off. There's dates everywhere. Yeah, see, I'm gonna have to go all the way down here and then do a U-turn. It's not real convenient. Somewhere in here, I'm gonna get to do a U-turn. Nice, developed and grass. Well, it's not grass. It's some kind of ground cover they put down here, but it's all drought-resistant ground cover. But everything's watered. I mean, they'll have water lines running everywhere, and everything. I mean, it's pretty extensive, all the watering they do here. But as far as drinking water, there's a aquifer out in Al Ain that they pull a lot of the drinking water off of, but I think they realized that they were going to deplete it. So there's less of that now here in Abu Dhabi. I know there's desalinization plants, and it's all kind of hooked together with the power plant. So they run the electrical plant, and they have the desalinization running with it. So nice IKEA there. If I ever need any furniture that I have to put together myself, I know where to go. So pretty Western here. Some folks have mentioned that everything seems pretty Western, and it is. And in my opinion, now I was stationed in Germany twice, and it's more like America here. The things that the stores and everything they have than it was in Germany. Honestly, I mean, there's a lot of lot of stores, restaurants, things like that. A lot of there's a lot of British type stores as well, Waitrose, things like that. So nice sunset, like I said last video, with a lot of dust in the air. Really makes for nice, and the haze from the humidity really makes for nice sunsets. You can see that. That's pretty nice. It's like Tatooine. It's like Star Wars here or something, you know. Looking for two suns. It's hot enough here, there should be two suns. So we'll go right by the Warner Brothers world. You can see that. Now I think if you hang with me a little bit longer, I know this is kind of running long, but we'll go by the Formula One track. I think we'll call it quits after that, so just bear with me for a little bit longer here. There's the Warner Brothers world. You can see it's all indoors. It's pretty big. I haven't been there yet. I'm waiting for one of the kids or Arlene to come here to go. Warner Brothers world. So it's a big resort here. They have a lot of tourism coming to Yas Island, building up a lot of places. There's a nice water park. Yeah, it's a little hot to be out there, if you ask me, but folks go out there. So they opened everything's opened back up from the Corona. Here's the Ferrari world, one of the tracks there, one of the roller coaster rides. I don't know that I see any roller coasters going, but they've got a one ride there that I want to ride, the Formula One ride that is supposed to be the fastest roller coaster in the world. That's what they tout it as. It's a big Ferrari world. They've got the Formula One track that we're about to go past, and that's typically the last Formula One race of the season is in Abu Dhabi. So I've gotten where I kind of follow that pretty good now. I enjoy watching the Formula One. Some series on Netflix, Drive to Survive, that I got pretty hooked on watching that. It's pretty interesting. So this is the big Formula One track, and usually in the winter time, when it's cooler, much cooler, now much cooler is like 70 at night, but they'll open that track up on like Tuesdays, and you can walk the track. So they're on the other side. Not getting a real good view here. We'll go past. We'll get a better view here in a second. But this is Yas Island. There's a links golf course over here. Links style, like in Scotland, which means there's no trees. All that over there is the Formula One track. You can see the towers there. And that's the hotel section there. That's where I stayed. So that one building straight ahead, right on top of that black Jeep there, that's Staybridge. That's where I stayed. Probably stay there again. We'll see. But again, I'm getting itching to get doing some cooking. So this is the Formula One track right over here, and those are the stands that they have for them. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the drive. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the camera away here now, and we'll see you next time. Be sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about it all, and we'll talk to you later.